How's it going, everybody? I'm Cass, and today we're going to talk about some Avatar stuff. So, this guy is my own creation. Completely from scratch, start to finish. This is my custom avatar. There's a public version that has a bunch of different skins on it, but this is mine. So, I just wanted to walk through a lot of the process of making this guy, what I learned, and some helpful tips if you're looking to make your own avatars or even just making edits to one. So this isn't going to be an in-depth look at the whole creation process. It's mostly just going to be tips and tricks, what I learned from making this guy, and things that could help you if you get into it. Here is easily the biggest thing that I learned throughout this whole process: versioning. Save some version of your project so that you can go back if you mess up. Because trust me, you will mess up. Or Blender will mess up. Or whatever software you're using will mess up. It's just do it. Get in the habit. It's a very good thing to do. Let's talk about proportions. Proportions are very important, especially when it comes to VR and full body tracking. So, something I see a lot is avatars that it's mostly noticeable in the hands, but the feet can have the issue as well, where my arms are fully extended, right? But in game, they fully extend about here. I can go about another couple inches. So it's not super accurate to the real world. And it's never going to be perfect, but you can get close by having a properly proportioned model. So what I do is I start with what is basically a stick figure in Blender, and I'll show that here. Basically what it is just a few shapes that are proportioned to each other to mimic the not natural, but the average human proportions. You can look them up. It's something like 7.5 heads for the body, basically. It can vary a little bit. Just look up art human proportions or something, and you'll find what you need. But start with something like that, because it will help you keep your avatar in a state that can work better, right? I am terrible at explaining that, or getting words out, but I'm trying. Okay, so let's talk about retopology real quick. So if you don't know what that is, it's basically creating a lower poly model from your main detailed model or sculpt. You really need to pay attention to the lines, the body features of your character. So when you're doing this, don't do what I did the first time. Don't just make it like squares and just pay no mind to the lines and shapes of your character. It's not going to match up well, and there's going to be areas that stretch a lot more than others. It's not going to look good. So one more retopo tip. Keep in mind your blend shapes, or shape keys, whichever you call them, because different programs use different words. Keep your blend shapes in mind, because it will help you figure out where you need more polys on your retopo model. Last tip that involves retopo, I swear. Bake your normals. So take the detail from your sculpt and bake that onto the normal map for your retopo model. You'll thank me later. It's a little bit of a pain to do, but if you can get it right, you can save yourself so much headache trying to basically paint a height map. It's not fun. It's really not fun. Oh God, now we gotta talk about armatures and weight painting. Ugh. VRChat specifically is very picky about its bone structure for an armature. Make sure you name them accordingly. Make sure you pay attention to the actual hierarchy, because sometimes things can get a little out of whack if something's not right. And it will throw everything else off. And trust me, going back and changing that and having to redo your weight painting is not fun. Please, for the love of God, check your weights. Because otherwise, you're going to have issues where this happens a lot to me. The initial attempt for automatic weight painting will attach some weight from this foot to this bone. Like the actual mesh for this leg will be attached to the bones in this leg. So you'll get a lot of stretching and it's not going to be fun. Happens there, it can happen on like fingers. I don't even know how, because they're like this. They're nowhere near each other. Somehow it still happens occasionally. Blender's weird. Just don't discount good weight painting, because it will make a difference. This guy, not the best. I will admit that. It's not the best, but that's because I had to redo it like 5-10 times, and I got fed up. Take a look at... Hold up. Is it going to do it? Can I... Take a look at this guy. It's a lot better. It's a lot more fluid. The bones are a lot nicer and smooth and twisty and everything. It's way better than my model, because this was a base. This was something that... I'm not even going to say it like that. This was something that was made by somebody who is much more skilled than me. So, I'm going to stay in this avatar because I like it. This is the one I normally use. The other one's more of a tech demo, really. But let's talk about testing. Please test as often as you can. Because if you don't, chances are something will get overlooked and you'll have to go back and fix it later. That's partly why the other guy took so long, because it literally had to be reworked from the ground up like 3 times. It wasn't fun. I really wish I would have been able to test more. And test in as many different ways as you can. Because, quick story, originally, this guy's hip was backwards. It was like this. I don't know how, but for some reason, the hip was flipped. So my tail was coming out of my stomach, and the legs were all messed up. I didn't realize it because I was using mods, and IK Tweaks will automatically fix it until I gave it to my friends to test who don't have that mod. And it was very jarring to see that for the first time, because I thought it was a problem with their stuff. No, it was a problem with my model. And I took probably 2-3 days trying to pinpoint the issue, and this model was basically finished already. I could have done so much more with this had I not missed that. Alex Shire asks, what were 1 or 2 of your biggest I should have realized moments when creating an avatar? I should have realized that my mods were on. That was something that killed me mentally. I really, really wish that I had realized my mods were still on, and probably could have avoided a lot of the armature issues that I had. Dietar asks, what are some tips you have for Unity beginners who want to make their own avatars? So here's my biggest tip. Start small. Start with just playing around with a base in Unity. Get like some simpler avatar base to play around with. Learn it. Learn how to edit the features, learn how to edit the commands and stuff like that, because that's going to help you later on when you can actually go through this entire process all at once. Knowing how Unity behaves with certain things is going to be the biggest hurdle. Wolfang asks, if snakes don't have armpits and cats sleep for 70% of the day, how many pancakes would it take to build a doghouse? 1,000,005. So thank you for watching. This was something that was in the back of my mind for a long time after making this avatar, and I'm finally getting around to it. So hopefully some of my mistakes and my oversights can help you so you don't have the same issues. If you have any more questions for me, or you just want to talk avatar stuff, comments are down below. And hey, if I get enough questions, I might just make another video. We'll just do a whole Q&A avatar creation video. Also, if you didn't know, I stream over on Twitch. My name is the same, it's just Cass Ferret. I play games, I create avatars, I just chill, hang out, and chat. But regardless, come hang out, have a good time, and come say hi. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care. That's a wall. I think after a couple years I would have learned. I don't.